What God has for us in our obedience is always better than what the world offers us. Because what God offers us is eternal. But what the world offers us is temporary. And the problem is this whole idea that we live in this human-centered world among people who see themselves, us. We see ourselves as the center of the world. We see ourselves as the highest authority in the world. Think about it. When you think of the story of Saul, or you think of the story of Moses, or we think of people today that if they were good people, they were pillars in our community, I can't fathom the fact that this loving God would actually send somebody to a real hell. Right? When we position ourselves in that manner, what we're essentially doing is we're elevating ourselves to the place of authority that only God deserves. So he is the highest authority. And I think that the reason that we think this way is because we're raised up here in the U.S. We're raised up in a society where we would say that we have basic human rights, right? We're taught that from the time that we're children. We have rights. We're not animals, right? You can't treat us like an animal. We have rights because we are better than the animals. But at the same time, we give little thought to the idea that God has rights as well. And rights that are only due to God himself because God is not human. And so as creator, God has rights that the created do not. As our creator, God has rights that the created do not. And so as we push forward through the series, and when you guys look at and analyze Scripture, you can never forget that God has rights you don't deserve. Because he is God, and you are not.